I got it! I got it! Yes, let's go! Now, I would have recorded me getting it at Target, but no, I didn't care to do it, and you guys probably don't either. Don't lie to yourselves. I've already got something to say. They definitely do a good job of hiding the fact that this is the first Sonic figure in a long, long time to feature the soap shoes. Or just merch in general, because the last ones they've ever made were the plush and the figure. But now, oh my god, the record has been broken. And the real deal too! Enough babbling, let's open this bad boy up. Ladies, gentlemen, and Sonic fans, I have returned once again, and the time has come. I finally bought the new Sonic Forms pack by Jakks Pacific, the one that I wouldn't shut up about in my Jakks Pacific review, which, speaking of which, thanks for all the support you've given me for that video. It's gotten way more views than I usually do, and it got a ton of likes and a bunch of awesome, responses with, people's opinions on Jakks Pacific and, Sonic merch and such. So thank you all for that, and now the time has come, like I said. Oh man, I'm just so excited. I finally have this, and yeah, I just went to Target, and I finally... after searching for like a good week after, I first saw that image, like I mentioned in the video, this is like the first time I'm actually seeing it in person, and I finally caught it on one of the shelves at like one of my local Target stores, and oh man, this is great. So first thing, I'm showing it from this side because you could see like the light on the reflection of the box, but yes, speaking of which, let's just not waste time. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So first things first, we got the box, and yeah, like I said, they definitely do a good job of disguising the fact that this is a new Jakks Pacific Sonic figure with the soap shoes. Yeah, they hardly advertise that fact. But yeah. And the box, it does look really good. In fact, I think I might actually want to keep it, which is something I don't usually do a lot for Jakks Pacific Sonic figures or action figures in general, because the boxes don't look all that pleasing. But this one, I don't know, it just kind of feels a lot more unique and organic. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like they could have at least plastered some, 2D renders, or at least some 3D renders of, Werehog and, Super Sonic, and maybe even the Soap Shoes Sonic. But yeah, they don't really, Jakks doesn't really do a lot of, 2D art, if not at all, for these boxes. They just stick to this generic render of Sonic. But yeah, enough babble, let's finally get this thing open, because I've been waiting long enough, and now, here we are. Got my scissors, so here we go. There they are, in all their glory. Oh my god, I can't wait to get them out, they look gorgeous. Something I feel Jakks Pacific should do a lot more is have like a unique and, unique background with like a Sonic level event of some sort. But no, it's just a generic blue background, so I feel like that's something they should improve upon in the future. But yeah, it is kind of weird how they just randomly have a Unleashed figure and an SA2 figure, like, combined, like, into, like, one package. Like, it's like they don't even appear in the same game, so I don't know what that's about, but I'll take it. I'm not complaining, because, good lord, these figures, they're everything, and I've only seen them for, like, a few minutes. And like I said, I don't even have a Super Sonic figure yet, but now I do. And now my, Sonic form collection seems to be coming together nicely now. Alright, finally got them out of the box, and it took way longer than it should have, but it was all worth it, because these figures are fantastic. Like, this is like my first time looking at them in person, after seeing them in photos for so long. Just, oh my god, it's just insane how I finally have these in my collection. So I figured the way we're gonna look at these figures is one by one. We'll start from least interesting to most interesting. So I feel like that's the best way we can review these figures now that they're out of the box. So let's get right into it. First up, we got the Super Sonic figure, and like I said, this is the very first Super Sonic figure for Jakks Pacific that I have bought, because usually in some of the stores I go to, they don't have the Super Sonic figure for some reason. Although I'm pretty sure there were some times they did have it, but I didn't really feel that motivated to get it. But now I finally have one, and he looks great. I really like the sculpt and everything, and he just looks really, really nice. Although when I took him out of the box, I noticed how his head was really loose for some reason, which isn't really the case for Jakks Pacific figures. I really don't know if it's just my figure or not. It could be, couldn't be, I don't know, but either way, this figure, it looks great. And yep, it definitely is worth getting if you're into, collecting Sonic merch, of course, or if you just, want to have a collection of Supersonic figures or just Supersonic merch in general. It's great. I mean, he's got the quills sticking up, of course, as usual per Supersonic. And yep, he's even frowning, which is, of course, a common thing for Supersonic's appearance. They always got to make him frowning, which, yeah, it makes sense because, he's getting ready to battle something. Hopefully, it's Perfect Dark Gaia that he's battling because, yep, it does make sense because, this is the Unleashed pack minus the random inclusion with the soap shoes plushie. Yeah, we're not even, we can't even really call them soap shoes now. The grind shoes, that's what we have to refer to them now, but because the company soap doesn't exist anymore, but I'm just gonna go with soap shoes and just like everybody else. So yep, let's get into the figures that people are actually a lot more interested in, and yep, I don't blame them. Here we are with Sonic and his grind shoes, as the box implies. So yeah, his head is also pretty loose for some reason. I have no idea why that is. I mean, I hope that's fixable, because if you're like me, you really don't like loose joints on action figures. But yeah, the arms are kind of loose, but yeah, the head is just really loose for some reason, which is weird because most Jakks Pacific figures don't do that. But yep, obviously the thing that'll catch everyone's attention are the shoes. Because yeah, like I said a multitude of times, this is the first Sonic figure in a long time to feature these kind of shoes. Because and yep, they look great. Perfectly replicate the soap shoes to a T. Man, they really could have just made this pack include Sonic with just a normal Sonic figure with his normal shoes and Werehog and Supersonic, but they really went the extra mile to give him the soap shoes. That I can really admire Jakks Pacific for. And even though I made the question in the video, has Jakks Pacific surpassed Jazwares' Sonic toy line? And now I'm actually answering that question. Yes. And yeah, just for this figure alone, and we haven't even gotten to the real deal yet, which we will get to eventually. But yeah, I just want to take a quick look at this figure, because oh my god, it's great. And I feel like the arm here is a little bit more bent. Obviously there's no elbow joints. It's just has his whole arm is just one big joint, and his wrist turns. And yeah, I feel like they bented the arm on this figure a lot more, unlike usual modern Sonic figures that Jakks makes. Yeah, here's my normal Sonic figure, and here's the new one. Yeah, the arm is definitely a lot more bent on the new one. This one's kind of a bit more straightened out, if you can't really see that, because my camera's all blurry for some reason. You can kind of see the arm was just not as bent, but on here it's almost fully bent, if completely bent. So yeah, I don't really know what that's about, but it's not really a problem. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, this figure, it's a fantastic comeback to Sonic with the soap shoes. It's just marvelous. But enough talk of that. We're finally gonna get to the real figure that I'm sure you're all waiting for me to talk about. So let's not waste time and get to it. Here he is, Sonic the Werehog. Oh my dude, I cannot believe I'm actually holding a Jakks Pacific Sonic figure. This honestly, I 100% mean it when I say this. This needs to be in a history museum of action figures or whatever, because oh my god, the sculpt, everything. This figure, I'm not noticing any flaws on the paint or anything. Yeah, obviously we got some new ball joints on the shoes there. Which, yeah, it's fine. It's not a huge problem, if not at all. But yeah, it is kind of, it kind of takes you out of it a little bit. But either way, this figure, oh my god, it's just marvelous. And not just for the fact that it's one of the few normal figures from the Jakks Pacific Sonic line to have elbow joints. Yeah, it does make sense because, Werehog is known for his stretchy arms, and he uses them a lot to take out the nightmares. And sheesh, they really went all out with this figure. It's just what I've been wanting for Sonic merch for so long, like I said in my Jakks Pacific Sonic video. Oh my god, this figure, man. So, yeah, let's go over it. Yeah, the first two figures were just, simple variations of, Sonic. But now we have an actual brand new form of Sonic, which is of course the Werehog. And so he has quite a few articulation joints. You can move his wrists, the elbows, arms, and of course the shoes. And his head is kind of loose here for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what it is with these figures and their loose heads, but I mean, I feel it makes sense because, like, I don't really know. It doesn't make sense for an action figure to have this, but I don't know if that's common. I feel like something is wrong with the figure that could, that is causing it to do that. I sure hope that isn't the case because, yeah, this is the very first Sonic the Werehog figure we've had in a long time. One that's not just, the Funko Pop or, those gotcha machine figures. This, oh my god, everything. Like the detail and just all of it. I never realized how small his legs are. And yeah, they are pretty small, but that's how it is in the game. That's how he looks. He has really small, stubby little legs there. But oh man, this figure, it's marvelous. And just overall, I'm willing to call this the best Sonic figure Jakks Pacific has produced. I'm going there. I'm really 100% going there now. Yeah, you can say that all you want for the grind shoes, but nope, I'm going with this one. This is without a doubt the best Jakks Pacific Sonic figure we've gotten. And I'm really trying my best to put my Unleashed bias aside, because y'all know I love that game to pieces. But oh my god, I can't stop saying oh my god, because this figure, man, I've wanted this for so long. A Jakks Pacific Werehog figure. Like, imagine. I was like, imagine what it would look like. And I don't have to imagine anymore because here he is. And you can tell by my voice I'm a lot more active because just, oh my god, it's gorgeous. He's great. And the detail, his mouth even looks a lot like there. You could see like the detail, like his tongue and his like little teeth there. And I do like that his mouth is like kind of open because like on the other figures, his mouth is just closed, and we only see his little snaggly teeth. And speaking of which, here he is right next to his brother. Now, if you're wondering why my Jazwares Sonic figure or Sonic the Werehog figure is like this, he's missing one of his ears, and he doesn't have one of the spiky soles for his shoes. It's because I had this figure for like a good 5 to 6 years, and my mom had like a home attendant that would clean up our rooms, and of course her clumsy butt knocked down this Sonic the Werehog figure, and thankfully none of he's not like completely broken. Like the arms and legs are still on, and the head is still in one piece, except his ears gone, and of course the bottom of the shoe. But yeah, he still looks pretty good for what he is. And yep, here he is right next to the new and improved Jakks Pacific Werehog figure. And yeah, fun fact, I believe the Jazwares figure was like the very first Sonic figure that Jazwares actually actively produced, because when they first started out, they just re-released figures that the past toy brands already did. Like I think some of the Toy Island toys, and I don't know, it's been like a long time since I looked into that. But yep, here he is. And obviously the new one's a lot smaller, the old one's a lot bigger, and the coloring is a lot more darker, and it does have a lot better looking colors. While the blue on here is not really as dark, it's more of a light blue kind of thing. But the new one, it definitely does look a lot better, because yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how it looked like in the game. It's been a while since I replayed Unleashed. I just mostly go back to replaying some of the daytime stages and, the nighttime stages. But I hardly take the time to look at how, the animations are, because, yeah, the game is just that fun to me. So I just don't really, care to know it as much. But, yeah, the blue definitely on his, like, muzzle, his stomach, and hands are a lot better and for this new figure. And I'm of course going to be a lot more careful. Don't want what happened to this figure to happen to this one too. But yeah, both figures, they definitely stand well against each other. And just for the heck of it, here he is compared to the 3-inch Jazwares Werehog figure. Yeah, the sculpt's pretty much the same as the other one, except he's obviously a lot smaller, and it does look a bit cheaper this time around when looking at it. Yeah, now that I have this figure, I'm now realizing the flaws of both this figure and the old figure. I mean, yeah, they're not bad by any means. They look great, but looking back at them now, yeah, I feel like they could have done a lot more that this figure has done. And good lord, it just makes me all the more happier that we now have a new and improved Sonic the Werehog figure. I keep praising it and saying the same stuff for the past several minutes because it's true. Jakks is finally going all out, as they should. And yeah, this one is missing his nose, because yeah, that's how cheap most of these figures were. Like, I don't know why my camera's being all blurry for some reason. Focus. Yeah, there you can see his nose is gone. But yeah, it's still in pretty decent condition. At least he has both his ears, and is not missing any of the soles on the bottom of his shoes. But, yep, this new figure definitely fits well with the two more well-known Werehog figures. Oh yeah, almost forgot to say, on the giant figure, it also had articulation in his quills, which was pretty random, but I really like that, even though I don't really mess with them that much. I just like to leave them, you know, as is. You know, I'm kind of glad they didn't do that for the new Jakks figure. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, because, you know, it's obviously a different brand that made it. It's not the same company, because Jazwares doesn't own the license anymore, nor do I think they ever will own the license again. But it doesn't really matter, because I love this figure. It's marvelous. I cannot really come up with any complaints for it. I mean, yeah, the ball joints are a little bit too noticeable, but at the same time, I can't really call that a bad thing at the same by any means. Because yeah, this figure it's way too marvelous, and I think I should stop gushing over it now and just, you know, wrap up this unboxing and review, because I can't wait to put this on my shelf. Just, you know, pick it up from time to time and just mess with it. Well, nice work, Jakks Pacific. You definitely stole my heart. That's the best way I can put it. I never thought that Jakks would have, you know, the goal to make a new Werehog figure, given how Unleashed was received back in the day, but it seems like they just don't really care if a game is good or bad. They just need to look at how much people really appreciate it to this day. And yep, I'm one of the Werehog's biggest fans, and, you know, people that praise it over and over. And yep, I'm just glad they took the time to make one. I can't stop praising it. It's just that good. And here are the three figures standing together side by side. And while looking at the Soap Shoe Sonic figure, I kind of realized a lot more of the flaws, like the paint job. You can see some of the markings, like the lines on there. That's kind of suckish, and yeah, you can see like a little stain there. And yep, I do notice a lot more flaws when looking at it again from a critical perspective. But yeah, at the same time, the figure still looks great. I wouldn't really say it's, you know, bad or anything. But yeah, it's just weird because Jakks already started to get good with, you know, the paint job for these figures, but now, like, the colors are just kind of off. I mean, the color is not off. He's obviously, I think he looks a lot more darker, has a more darker shade of blue than the normal modern Sonic figure. But yeah, it's just weird how the paint job is randomly back to just being not as good again. I don't really get that. But I guess they put a lot more effort in the soap shoes, which, yep, it does make sense, because, you know, people are obviously gonna come to this figure for these, and literally no other reason. I don't know why the head on this one and that one are all loose, but, yep, at the end of the day, it's not really much of a flaw. It's just, you know, a common thing for a lot of action figures, so I wouldn't really call Jakks out for this one, so, yeah. I will say, I do think it's weird how Werehog doesn't have any closed fists here. Like, yeah, like, dude, he's known for punching and, you know, throwing hands, but here both of his hands are just open, which it's kind of weird because Jakks does make, you know, the figures have, like, closed fists, but this one, his hands are open, which, I don't know, I feel like they could have just had one hand, they could have just done their usual thing with, you know, having one hand open and one hand closed. But yeah, now I guess it's just, you know, used because, you know, he's, you know, he's in his Werehog form. He's like, they want to actually show off the claws that he has without, you know, him closing his fists or anything. But yeah, I am sure people are happy now that I'm giving out more of the flaws. But even then, the flaws don't really take out anything from this figure for me, or any of the other ones for that matter. Because, yeah, I'm just glad Werehog's finally getting the attention and appreciation that he deserves in today's day and age. And as for the Super Sonic figure, there's not really much to go off about it because, yeah, it's just a Super Sonic figure that has already existed before this. But yeah, I feel to me it's fine because, yeah, like I said a multitude of times, I never owned the Super Sonic Jakks Pacific figure until now. But yeah, I wish this one didn't really have a loose head, but fine with me. So, yep, that's pretty much it. That is my unboxing and review of the new Sonic Forums pack from Jakks Pacific. And if I had to give this a score, I would give this a 10 out of 10. No notes, because, yep, it's that good, and I'm just really glad Jakks Pacific has finally gotten to the point where we have gotten a Werehog figure from them. Thank you for this, Jakks Pacific. You are splendid in my book. I'm still hoping for a figure of Chip, or at least, a figure of him that's in, like, the 2.5 range of Sonic Jakks figures, because it would be a huge missed opportunity if they didn't. I mean, they've already done a Werehog figure, so that Jakks Pacific could be up there as definitely the best one if they were the best master toy partner if they made a Chip figure. Like, the opportunity is right there, Jakks. Don't pass it up. And I feel this figure pack is mostly catered to fans who are just hugely obsessed with, these sides of Sonic with, the soap shoes and the Werehog. And yeah, that's fine, because, not everyone appreciated the Werehog at the time, even though I feel like they were dumb for that, because, yeah, they judged it because of Sonic 06 or whatever. But, yeah, even though I obviously think the Werehog figure is a lot better, I also appreciate this figure as well. It's great. And totally not just for the soap shoes. Yep, totally not. But yeah, I feel like I said, this figure pack is mostly catered to, fans who, grew up with these games and, grew to appreciate them. And, it's mostly just for people that are like, people that completely understand, Sonic and, not like casual players who hardly know a thing or two about the franchise. But at the same time, if you were to ask me if this collection pack was worth it, I'd say it is. It's well worth the money, even if especially if you don't even have, a Super Sonic figure already. This figure pack, it's definitely worth it just for Werehog and, of course, the soap shoes alone. And yeah, who knows if these two figures will ever get single releases or single pack releases. I hope they do, but, I wouldn't mind if this was, the only way you could buy them. But, yep, other than that, this figure pack is fantastic. I love it. And yep, I think that should do it. So be sure to let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. And with that said, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a nice day. Just a little something else I'd like to add to the video after waiting a couple of days and watching other folks unbox this new figure pack is that people have been having problems with the quality control with them, like the paint job, stiff joints, and other stuff like that, which explains why the heads were quite loose on these figures for not just me, but other people who bought it as well. But that shouldn't really be the case at all, which has me assuming that this figure pack was rushed in development. Lucky enough, I could care less about the small details these figures may have gotten wrong due to the quality control, but Jakks really should consider fixing this issue that frankly shouldn't even be an issue at all.